Hey everyone, welcome back to BDG Reviews. We got tonight, I've been looking forward to doing this one. Got a review of Hellraiser Judgment. Um, I gotta say right off the bat, if you've been on my channel for a while, you'll know I'm a pretty big Hellraiser fan. I'm even a fan of Revelations, which is kind of says something right there. Um, yeah, so I'm just laying that out there right at the beginning. Now, the basic plot for this one is interesting because a lot of it actually focuses on a different faction of Hell's groups, I guess you could say, and there's people called like the auditor, the assessor, the juror, the jury. I mean the surgeon and stuff, and it doesn't really make clear how they. There's a connection to Pinhead and the Cenobites. It doesn't really go into fully what it is. This assessor guy seems to really have like kind of like the utmost respect for Pinhead. So, I, I, I think they're just like another like faction. You know, they have different rules and everything for getting them into the taking people out and everything. So they don't use the box or anything. They essentially send people letters and invite them to like a house, and they go there and they get dealt with. While all this stuff is going on, also there's some detectives, and they're searching for a serial killer who's killing these people based on the Ten Commandments. So he's taking them all out and everything. Uh, the paths cross along the way. Okay, I'm not gonna go any more into the plot because honestly, this is one. It pays you to see this. Um, Blind isn't the right word, but it pays you to be kind of surprised because you get to a point at the end and you're just kind of like, oh shit, yeah, it's a great scene. Um, if you've seen the movie, you probably know the scene I'm talking about. I'm gonna get into the nitty gritty of it though. Elephant in the room. First thing first, Doug Bradley is not playing Pinhead. Paul T. Taylor is now playing Pinhead, and I gotta say, I am thoroughly impressed with his rendition. I mean, for one, he's got the look. He's got like this almost like regality about him, like in like just like walking into a room. There's like this presence, which the guy from Revelations did not have, you know, at all. Um, so yeah, that's a definite plus. Paul T. Taylor, as far as I'm concerned, is I'll say it. He's shoulder to shoulder with Doug Bradley for playing Pinhead. Admitted it's not like there's a huge group of people to go through, like to compare, but he does it justice. It feels like the same character that Doug Bradley played, whereas the one from Revelations really felt like a different character. Yeah, the effects in this are all pretty much top notch. There's a few things like one point people are using the box and there's like this lightning coming off it type thing. It looks a bit, you know, it looks almost like rotoscope actually, as opposed to CG, but I'm pretty sure it's CG. Um, my one complaint is the boxes themselves. There's quite a few of them in the movie. They don't look great, and I don't know. Maybe it's just the way they lit it or something. But I didn't like the way the boxes looked. But other than that, no problem effects wise. Um, you got Cenobites in here that are throwbacks to other ones. So you got like Chatterer. You have two which are kind of interesting. They've been seen in the trailer. They're kind of like a cross between the Stitch Cenobite from Inferno and like the Wire twins from I think that was that from Inferno as well. I don't know. or Bloodline, maybe. The two that look the same. They're like a cross between those two. They're pretty cool, I gotta admit. Um, One other gripe is, again, I've said it before, thick chains. The later Hellraiser movies always use these big, thick chains hanging from the ceiling and everything, and honestly, it just, I don't know. I always find it to look a bit cheesy. I prefer thin chains, things that look really sharp and everything, you know, and like they look like they'd snag on you and everything, but, you know, it is what it is, right? So yeah, all in all, I am thoroughly happy with this movie. I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. I you know, I'm taking that point off simply because just for the, you know, the CG and stuff like that. It's not perfect, but I have to say it's probably the best Hellraiser since maybe Part 3. What also makes this interesting is I was thinking about this while I was watching this, really. There's two versions of Pinhead in the Hellraiser mythos. You have basically like Clive's original Pinhead, which essentially, you know, you summon him, he comes there, he tears you apart, he leaves. That's kind of it. It's like the physical side. Then kind of around Hellraiser 4 going into Hellraiser 5, it sort of switched up and this new Pinhead almost emerged, which was more about, like, you know, punishment and like some points like psychological tortures and everything, and it became more like of like a morality play. This Pinhead falls into that category, which is okay. You know, it's just an interesting point, you know, and really, and not a lot of people talk about it. The fact that there is that, you know, kind of switch that happens. It is what it is, though, right? This also brings back flayed people. I've said before, I love movies with flayed people in it. This brings it back. And this also plays with... I'm going to say this is a spoiler. It's not really, because I'm just talking about like a concept that is in the movie, but it could be considered a spoiler. So if you don't want to hear it, no, stop now. It plays with the concept also of, well, you have like hell and you have all this stuff, but you also have a heaven, and the heaven isn't quite the one everyone thinks of. It's more of a, like, underhanded, I guess you could say. That's just, I'm gonna leave it there, you know. Like I said, it's just like a concept almost, but I guess you could consider it a spoiler. So yeah, Hellraiser Judgment, 9 out of 10, kick-ass flick. I want to see Paul T. Taylor more as Pinhead. He did it really well, and congratulations, bravo. It works. I have no problem with Paul T. Taylor taking up the mantle of Pinhead. You know, I would watch a bunch more movies with him playing the character, and it would work perfectly. You know, honestly, you know, obviously, you know, Doug Bradley is Pinhead. He's been it from the beginning. And there's always going to be that argument, like, oh, well, Doug Bradley would have done better. I don't know. Maybe he would have, but this Pinhead is spot on. You know, that's all I can really say. So yeah, 9 out of 10, Hellraiser Judgment. Great stuff. Buy it if you're even slightly interested. Hell, you know what? Even if you're not interested, buy it anyway. It's a damn good movie. Alright, so also down in the link below, I'm going to leave a trailer, obviously. Also my Patreon link and my merch shop link. Feel free to join up with the Patreon or buy a t-shirt. You know, it would help out the channel a lot. Yeah, so that's it for now. See you next time.